Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Titus of House Peake. And as you can see, there's been an attempt on our life. I throw away my covers the moment I feel something brush against my leg, but the swift movement only agitates the snake. Even in the dark room, I recognize the viper. How has it ended up in my bed? The snake's venom spread with a burning sensation through my body, but I call for my Maester Morn at once. It was a painful endeavor, but as the sun rose, the pain of the poison was finally letting go. This was undoubtedly the work of that obnoxious knave, Lord Wyman House Manderley. I should have known. I will make him regret this. So Wyman Manderley was the one behind an assassination attempt on us. Very interesting. I wonder if, perhaps the events at the tournament and things like that have pushed him to act against us for some reason in this way. I mean, the rivalry of our house is one thing, but to attempt to murder us and potentially to murder our new wife, Lady Valena, this cannot stand. Luckily, we had Maester Morn here, who, with his medical knowledge, was able to cure us from the poison of that viper. So despite the time he spends up here in his tower with his tinctures and potions, he was able to serve us ably when we needed him the most. So very good on you, Maester Morn. What are we going to do about that? Well, we are going to, plot our revenge. How are we going to do that? We can't declare war on him. Challenge him to a fight? I mean, it would be non-lethal combat, so it wouldn't really be that helpful. We could goad him. But I think that perhaps a murder scheme? I think we try for a murder scheme, but I think we wait a little bit because I would like, I'd like to focus on that. And we've only got 3 more months left before we get our next martial perk. So after that, we're going to switch over here. And I think that is when we are going to go and act against the dastardly Lord Manderley. So yeah, I mean, he tried to murder us. So that is mighty interesting. I am going to station our archers in this holding here in Dunstanbury. That should be fine. Jane's first enrobing. As I patiently await the fetching of my clothes, a servant stutters up, "My lord, no one can find your garment." "I'm surrounded by incompetence," I mutter, storming from my bedchamber. "It's in the nursery of my daughter Jane that I discovered not only my raiments, but also the girl's wet nurse. I had no part in it, my liege. She dressed herself," Mia responds with a giggle. That little scoundrel. So she's a princess of fashion? I do like that. I do like that nickname. I think it's just kind of funny for some reason. So, and it's going to help us lose some stress. So, you know what? She's going to gain the nickname the Princess of Fashion. So Jane is well known for her love of clothes and clothing. So that might serve her well, when we're looking to get a betrothal for her. I hear a commotion from my daughter Jane's chambers. Hastening inside, I see the wet nurse. Mia is playing with her. "My liege, perfect timing. Jane just took her first step," she shouts excitedly. Holding my girl's hand, she tries to walk around the room. So, you know what? I like this. We are a deceitful character. We're ambitious, but neither of these traits necessarily mean that we are, evil or sociopathic. Maybe, we're not necessarily like a loving, compassionate type of character, but we're not necessarily like a sociopath or anything like that. So, we could, take some joy from watching our daughter grow, and maybe she reminds us a little bit of our late wife who was our soulmate. So, what else can she do? Yeah, we're gonna, but we are gonna pressure her to keep walking because we are ambitious. So we want the best for ourselves. So she's gonna get a stress hit because we're already putting pressure on her, and she's only 2 years old. So it is what it is. We're almost done with this, getting this perk here. And then we should be good Oh, lots of events for our daughter right away. Just like any other children her age, my daughter and heir Jane sometimes lies and tests boundaries. However, she often avoids suspicion with her sweet demeanor, and people always forgive her when she does get caught. I wonder just how much she gets away with. I'll keep an eye on this one. She's taking after her father, so she might become a little bit of a schemer this one, perhaps. We shall see. A reading in the province of Starpike. The celebrations had come to an end, and the evening's entertainment seemed to be over when Lady Velena suggested a reading. A clerk soon arrives, wondering what the guests would like to hear, and my chance to impress Velena. Something pious, like blood and fire. Ooh. Let's be entertained beneath the Titan's legs. You know what? I feel like she would probably enjoy something a little bit entertaining, so we're gonna go for that one. She thinks it's a good choice. She's completely engrossed. That's no surprise there. She gently bites her lips. It was great, wasn't it? Smoldering chemistry going on. Look at that, 90% chance to woo her as our lover. That is very exciting indeed. What do we have here? We are invited to Lord Leo of Ashford's hunt. You know what? We're going to join, naturally. Let's head on over here. And yeah, should be good. After a day of long travel, the horizon starts to bleed into warm colors. I take a moment to pause, close my eyes, and breathe. Careful, my caravan leader Jamila screams, pointing at the hills, minor road. Beyond the path we follow, what looks like a small rodent is running into the wild, and after that, an orange figure I easily recognize. No, Mittens! Jamila, follow him. Mittens is smarter than all of us. Let's see. I'll personally find you, Mittens. Quick, everyone after him. Do we, you know what? Mittens is smarter than all of us. He'll find his way back. There we go. We get our martial lifestyle perk. I think we're going to go for chivalric dominance. I feel like that's just the most. Oh, we could get this natural dread gain, though. Because we could get some dread from here as well. I think we spent a long time focusing on chivalry, though. Let's get the chivalric dominance. We did win that tournament. That feels pretty fitting. We are going to switch over now to the skullduggery focus. And perhaps once this hunt is done, we'll start planning and plotting against our enemy. As we await the arrival of the guest, Lord Leo has started on the preparations as gamekeepers check the wilderness each day for signs of quarry while building a camp closer to the hunting grounds. My bird grows restless waiting, knowing what will be soon unleashed. Before I forget, there's one thing I wanted to do, and I wanted to see if we could get one of Mace Tyrell's sons as our squire. So Willis already has a squire, or a knight, I should say. Garland doesn't. Offer knight tutelage, would he accept? Ooh, he wouldn't. It's close, though. It's actually surprisingly close. So we might be able to get a knight. We might be able to get one of the sons of Mace Tyrell as our squire. You know, maybe Loris or... yeah, so we're going to wait, and we're going to try to get Garland as our squire when he's a little bit older. Travel, there you are. It doesn't take much to track down the growling and broken twigs down to their origin. Mittens sits over a leaf litter, licking his orange paws from the blood of his victim. The squirrel's almost unrecognizable. Ha! I knew you'd be successful and done. I'll never take my eyes off you again. Adventurous pet for 2 years. Prowess +1. Nice. It's a nice little bonus. So 40 prowess. Pretty good. That is pretty good. I think that's probably putting us maybe not in the top 10. I think we were in the top 10 for a little while before we changed our focus there. But I mean, we're still in the top 15 or so greatest knights, and you know, we're probably tied with quite a few. And not to mention, like, some of these guys are going to die off soon. You know, Lord Harold of Amberley, he's not going to last too much longer. So, you know, we might move up a little bit as we go along. But for now, we're just going to enjoy this hunt. Oh, I do want to switch from recreation to success. So Let's see. The team's already in the quarry has been spotted. Yeah, let's switch over to. Oh, apparently we can't just focus on the hunt. Can we try to befriend somebody? We don't really need to. Ooh, yeah. Let's try to befriend Paramount Mace. That could be very helpful in accomplishing our plans. Like I said in that last episode, maybe if we can get Mace Tyrell as our friend, we can get him to name us the Lord of the Pale March. That seems pretty plausible to me. Waiting for a word from the scent hounds, the party rests in a shaded copse. Mace stands not far off. This is my chance to impress him. Lord Paramount Mace, how are you? It's not often we get a chance to talk, I open informally. He seems surprised, but not hostile to my conversation. Let's see. There's nothing better than a good hunt. Appeal to his active side. To tame and fly a hawk is truly free. Appeal to his social side. He is a very social man. I do pity the poor animals at times. His compassionate side. I would rather be doing something useful. A well-managed stewarding. No. I think we either go for his social side. You know, and I think we're going to do that. To tame and fly a hawk is to truly live. Lord Paramount Mace seems to have much in common with me, excitedly diving into the minutiae of bowstrings and traps. When we move on, we can hardly be separated. I knew I would find the right words to win him over. It's working. We're closer to forming a friendship here with Lord Paramount Mace. Lord Elias of Manderfields has been admiring my bird fence since we first started the hunt, and I can hardly blame him. Such a magnificent and beautiful beast it is. We near a small river rich and busy with fish of generous size, and I feel this is the perfect opportunity to show what my hawk can do. My falconry skills will impress. We could gain some hunter experience, lose some stress. That's nice. 44% chance. I'll grab the fish myself. Oh, yeah, let's do the prowess challenge here. Because almost guaranteed we get a bunch of prestige, and yeah, so that's nice. We grab the fish with our bare hands. We're that quick. We're pretty quick with the sword. That's how we beat Lord Robert Clegane in that duel those several years ago now. Lord Leo's game master signaled the party to hush. We have arrived at the release spot. There's a clear sight line to a flock of white swans watering themselves in a pond up ahead. The beaters will soon be in position, ready to spook the game into flight. The party halts as we prepare to remove our birds' hoods one by one and to their sport. It is time. Let us see if we can be successful here. And most importantly, let us see if we can befriend Lord Paramount Mace Tyrell. Leo watches excitedly as his hawk identifies a target and takes wing from its watch, soaring high into the air. The beaters have scattered the calling white swans, who now fill the air with flapping clamor. It swoops like a bolt of lightning, the audible thunder of the impact reaching us moments later as the quarry falls from the sky. Nicely done. Nicely done indeed. Everything that could go wrong seemed to do so, but there were several lines we found. The hawks have done us proud in their hunt for swans, so we weren't overall successful. We failed the intent to befriend, but we did win Mace over a little bit. So I do believe we gained a little bit of hunting experience. Let's see. Yeah, so we gained a little hunting experience, so that's not too bad overall. But yeah, we didn't accomplish our goal of befriending Mace, but he does think of us somewhat favorably. Finally, we return home. So we are going to enact our plans against against Lord Manderley here. He tried to murder us. I think that it's only fair if we try to get back at him. I wonder if we can convince anybody. Ooh, nobody would join our scheme against him. Still 65%. Ooh, these numbers are not great though. We might need to, you know what? I think we're going to hold off. We can't murder him again for 10 years. Do we? I don't know if we try this though. I don't think we have much chance for success. I think, you know, I think we can hold on for 10 years because I don't want to risk, I don't want to risk being found for murder. Let's learn about our trade first. Let's learn some schemer things here so we can fabricate hooks, so we can dig for dirt. You know, maybe we maybe we go down the spy network here and get some spies before we go after him. I think that might be the better option than jumping into it too early. That just seems really risky. So we're going to abandon it. We'll take that hit. We can't do it for 10 years, but we will try to get our revenge if we can. So here we go. We have returned home. So what do we do in the meantime? I mean, we should probably pay homage to our liege. We'll just go and demonstrate submission. Not really too worried about the danger or anything like that. We should be fine. So let us go. Perhaps Lord Mace will look favorably upon us. Servants usher me in to his great hall, where he sits his throne, waiting to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge the many oaths of homage, as his scribes record the event. With that, the ceremony is complete. He bids me to arise and affirms his satisfaction, along with my rights to rule the lands I rule in his stead. So there we go. We were, you know, relatively successful there. Our road takes us through the treacherous parts of Starpike. While I scan for any dangers ahead, a rustling bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, Jamila jumps out of the bush instead, holding a plant. You scared me, Jamila. Anyway, let me see what you have here. Some kind of fruit, I exclaim. Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll take just a little bite. Hold on. What if it's poisonous? I'll let her eat it. I don't know if we would risk her. You know, I think we tell her to throw it away. It's a harmless plant after all. Ah, good. Well, I mean, she could have eaten it, I suppose, but in any case. So what do we do from here? Speaking of Jamila, who happens to be the wife of our best friend, Sir Carrick Darrowson. You know, House Darrowson and Sir Carrick has served at our court for many years. He is our best friend, but his family was unjustly ousted from their position as the lords of Middleton by the Mad King Aerys Targaryen. Aerys Targaryen executed our friend's father here. Indeed, yeah. So the Mad King executed Malcolm Darrowson and put this man, one of his own loyalists, Lord Martin of Middleton, in that position. I think that it's about time that we go and return Middleton to the lands of our friend who has served us so faithfully in these several years that we've been fighting together, fighting alongside each other. It will be unfortunate to lose him as one of our vassals and one of our servants, but I think that this would be only right and only fitting. And, you know, maybe if we do gain that high lordship position, perhaps he would swear loyalty to House Peake. I mean, we could arrange that. I think that would be fitting. So, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to march into Middleton, and we are going to do justice for our friends. So let us raise our armies and let us march over to Middleton and put our friend in his rightful castle here. So, you know what? Carrick is going to lead our troops himself. We are essentially gifting him the use of our levies to take his castle back for himself from this Targaryen loyalist. I don't think that Robert's going to, you know, care about that very much at all. I don't think he'll mind. He hates Targaryen loyalists. And I mean, technically, we kind of are a Targaryen loyalist, but, you know, when you're deceitful and ambitious, you do what you got to do. Jane's first teething. With my leave, my daughter Jane and her wet nurse parade into my chamber. Mia poses like a herald and proclaims, my liege, you witness a monumental occasion. Jane has a mighty gift to offer you. Go ahead, Jane, tell him. Father, I lost a tooth. My daughter proudly presents her toothless smile. handing me a pouch. Oh, our daughter is kind of like the sweetest kid ever, actually. So here, a gift befits a gift. You know, we should give her. Yeah, you know what? I think that that's fine. You know, we're enjoying our daughter growing up here, so we still have yet to win over our wife. Oh, all right, here, Carrick. Carrick's gonna go and take his castle back. Good on you, Carrick. That's what we like to see. Yeah, defeated the enemy army quite easily here. I don't think this siege is gonna take too long. Yeah, just 4 months. So, oh, what do we have here? Betrothal between Clarice Kidwell and your Castellan Gilmore Peake. Oh, okay. I'm not opposed to that. It's not matrilineal, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, I'll accept that. Why not? I think that's just like a cousin of ours, so. Oh my god, we're getting so many events for our little daughter here. As I lean over the map in the council chamber, a sudden creak turns my head towards the door. My daughter Jane appears in the hallway, running like the wind towards me, shrieking, "Hugs!" She leans in close and closes my hips in a firm hug. I look at her, a tear hidden in my eye while my hand is stroking her hair in an effort to reciprocate the gesture. You know what? Maybe she really is just like reminding us, like, you know, maybe she's growing up to kind of look and remind us of her mother. She definitely is with her blonde Lannister hair. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of adorable, really. So we lose some stress. We obviously have a great deal of love for our daughter here. So, feud, a lopsided resentment. It bodes ill that the villainous Wyman remains a lord, while I am but a lowly lesser lord. Defending my family from such powerful enemies takes much attention. Wyman's inherited rivalry with Earthon was unjust. Perhaps the feud is more trouble than it's worth. No, even a lord must face justice. No, yeah, we're not going to end this feud. I don't think that seems fitting at all. He's got his 3 troops here. Just him and like his best buddies here, his knights. You know, they managed to flee, but it's not going to be enough here. So, my beloved wife, the servants have all been sent away, and our bed has been decorated with seashells. Because she's Valarion. As Lady Valena enters our chambers, she smiles lustfully and joins me without any hesitation. With the help of hands, mouths, and limbs, we reaffirm the devotion we swore before the 7 who are one, perhaps in a more carnal fashion than intended. As we were united in marriage, now we are united in heart. So she becomes our lover, which is excellent. Very good. And maybe she will. And there she goes. She is with child. So that is good news. Things are going well over here in House Peake, that's for sure. We shall see. And now, there we go. And our good friend Carrick Darrowson has now reclaimed the rightful seat of House Darrowson here. We'll probably, you know, arrange for an alliance or arrange on a marriage, or yeah, we'll get an alliance with him somehow or another. We'll figure out what we can do to do that. We don't need to do that right away. But I think it's very fitting, right? You know, Carrick, he came with us to that tournament. He was with us at our side. We didn't have a squire at the time. He was probably taking the place as our squire, despite the fact that he was a knight himself. And, you know, he came with us when we took the castle of Dunstanbury. He helped us lead our armies. He's been at our side this entire time. And now we get to give back. We get to go to our friend and give him his castle back, the castle that was unjustly taken away from him. Well, it is yours once more, Lord Carrick of Middleton. That is something that we like to see, and I'm very pleased to see it indeed. And now the question is, how are we going to deal with the last of our goals? Lord Bennis of Orchard Way, who is also a sodomite, so, you know, potentially vulnerable to our own machinations. He holds lands that are rightfully ours, the Lordship of White Grove. Well, we are going to need to get that back, but I think that we're going to need to try to, win over Mace Tyrell in order to get that Pale March title, or perhaps if there's another grand tournament. We're going to have to see how this all plays out, but we're going to have to see how it plays out in the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching.